What's up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about how you can just start creating a financial goal. So if you've never created one before or don't know how to start, just for some context, my name is Chris. I've been an accountant for 10 years now, and my wife and I have gone from $43,000 in debt to a $1 million net worth, and it's because we have made financial goals along the way. So I'm going to break down some of the frameworks that we've used that have worked and that I've helped other people with that have helped in their situation as well. So first, I talk to many people daily about their personal finances, and when I ask them what the goal is, they'll give me something generic like, yeah, I want financial freedom, or yeah, I want to become debt free. And then when I ask them, okay, how are you going to go about doing that? They have no clue because they don't have any idea how to create a goal, how to reach the goal. What I would first start with is, guys, you need to start a budget. You need to track your finances, because without tracking, goals mean nothing because you have no idea where you're even starting from, okay? So start your budget, just start tracking your finances, please. From there, that'll give you some insight of how you can start kind of making a plan for yourself, right? So what I like to do is, once I have all the necessary information, so I've tracked my finances, whether that's in a budget, whether that's in a debt payment calculator, etc., whatever the goal is, whatever the plan is, I start there, you track, and then you create small term goals, medium term goals, and long-term goals, okay? So small term goals are anything under a year. Long-term goals are anything that's 5 years or greater. And then the medium term obviously is like a 1 to 5 year goal. You want to kind of stack different goals at different time frames, and this will really help you achieve things, and I'll kind of go over that. So the problem that many people have is that they make financial goals without this like quantitative value attached to it. So going back to the example of, hey, yeah, I want to be financially free, or hey, I want to become debt free. There's no like, how are you tracking that? There's no way to know if you're succeeding or not. So your goals, first of all, need to have either some sort of time frame, some sort of monetary amount attached to them, or ideally both, right? You need to have a time frame and a monetary amount, and it's gonna like do wonders for you, okay? So like if we start with a short-term goal of under a year, so instead of saying, yeah, I want to be debt free in under a year, you say, how can I pay down $10,000 of my debt within 9 months? Let's just give that as an example, okay? That's very quantitative, and there's just, you can track it along the way of how you can be successful with that. And then from there, you can almost reverse engineer your goal into, okay, if 9 months I want to pay down $10,000, how much is that per month? And I didn't really pick a good example, but that's like $1,100 in the per 9 months I'm putting towards my debt to pay off $10,000, right? So I should have done an easier example, but it's knowing your starting point, knowing how to, knowing the end point that you're trying to get to, and then reverse engineering what you're able to do to get there to that point. And so it's really just, you don't really have to be an accountant like myself. You don't have to be good with numbers. You just have to understand, like, where am I starting? Where do I want to end? What do I think is the best way to get there? Now, maybe the first or second time you do this, like, it's not going to be actually the first or, the best way for you to do it. And that's when you adjust, and that's totally fine. Like, if you're new to creating goals, like, that's just going to happen. Okay. So don't get like discouraged if the first thing doesn't really work. And then you do this sort of strategy the whole way up. So the short-term goal could be, again, like the 10K in 9 months of debt. Like, how do I do that? And then the medium-term goal could be something like, how do I don't know, save up for a house or something like that. And you, again, do the same process. I want to be able to have $30,000 in 4 years to be able to save for a house that, me and my family can live in, or whatever. And then from there, you reverse engineer everything. Say, okay, if I want $30,000 in 4 years, that's $7,500 a year that I want to save/invest. And then you do the same thing with the long term. But with the long term goal over 5 years, I want you to have like super unrealistic goals that don't seem attainable right now, because what's going to happen is, if you set goals for yourself that are just too easy, you're not going to be, there's no carrot that's going to be dangling for you at the end. Like, you want like this big juicy goal that like you think you can hit. So like, let me give you an example. For my wife and I, like, the idea of having some sort of like rental property where we could go and have like vacation on our time and then rent it out 5 years ago, we made this goal, and it just seemed so unrealistic at the time. We're like, how are we going to possibly save this much money or do all these things? Like, we have 2 kids, like there's just like a lot going on. But right now, I mean, we've got like $26,000 saved for that account, and it's just about reverse engineering everything. So I want you to think of something that's just like crazy outlandish that you don't think you'll be able to achieve, because trust me, you can. And then the way you attack long-term goals is you make a long-term goal, and then you create 5, 10, 50 short-term goals within that long-term goal. Okay, so it's the same thing. You reverse engineer it, and then you chunk out the time that you want to be able to achieve that goal in. And instead of one large, like, unrealistic goal, you have like 10 very realistic goals that you are able to hit the major goal along the way, right? And one last thing here. So I talk to so many people, and I think the problem that people have with goal setting is they just don't know how to create a goal that's sustainable for them. And that's the biggest problem that people have, like creating a goal that they won't be able to take like the daily, weekly, monthly actions necessary to hit that goal. And so instead you like fall off, right? And you just stop doing the thing. So like, here's an example. Like right now, I don't know if you can see or hear, but like it's a pretty crappy day. It's raining right now. And too many people are not making a priority in their personal finances. And they're just saying how busy they are, how like, oh, life's really hard right now, I can't like do this thing. And this thing being personal finances is like, well, you want to fix your personal finances, but you're not making it a priority. So what happens is they create this thing where it's not sustainable for when life gets hard, and they just fall off and they stop doing it. So if this sounds like you, like, please like create something that you can sustain while life is hard and while the rainy days are here. Like, you gotta just like create something that you can figure out how to keep doing, whether, again, the time frame is daily, weekly, monthly, whatever the thing is. Like, if you fall off, then there's no point of even creating the goal anyway. So you need to create something that you can realistically achieve. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. I'm gonna be making daily little short videos on this about financial mindset, strategies, etc. And I found that doing it in my car is gonna be helpful. It just saves me a little time, so I can just sort of talk to you guys as I'm driving here safely, of course, hands-free. Make sure to check back every day. I'm literally gonna be posting every day. Talk soon, guys.